Good afternoon and welcome. This is a regular meeting of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force Complaint Committee called for Tuesday, August 10, 2010 at 3:30 p.m. and beginning at 3:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Member Nee.
Here.
Nee present. Member Washburn.
Here.
Washburn present. Member Caneva excused. Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Okay. Are there any changes to today's agenda?
There are no changes, Mr. Chair.
Any changes requested from the committee or the audience? Seeing none. As some of you may know, the chair of the complaint committee, Nicholas Goldman, has left the committee and the task force. He has been accepted into law school, and he'll be a little busy. He'll be too busy to attend task force meetings and do all of the side homework that we have. So certainly we wish him the best. I am chairing today's meeting, and I intended that for the future, member Kneber, who cannot be here today, will be named chairman. With that, may we have the first item, please?
The first item is the approval of June 8, 2010 regular meeting minutes. Mr. Chair.
Okay. Is there a motion to actually oh. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Rustam?
I am still waiting for Olive Gong from the Rec and Park Department to respond to what the RFQ is,
Oh,
whether it's a quote or a qualification.
right. Okay. Yeah, there are also some other things in here that need to be. I'm going to ask that without objection this item be continued, because there are a number of other corrections that need to be made, including names of respondents, and particularly the question on what RFQ stands for. So without objection, this matter will be continued. However, the chair will entertain public comment on the minutes. These are the minutes from the Tuesday, June 8th, 2010 meeting. Is there public comment? Seeing none, public comment is closed. Without objection, this matter is continued. Would you read the next item, please?
The second item is determination of jurisdiction on complaint filed by Thomas Piccarello against the single-room occupancy Hotel Safety and Stabilization Board Task Force for allegedly preventing him from commenting on a proposed action item and allegedly legislating and vetting pending public matters by email.
Okay. Is the complainant present, Mr. Piccarello? Thank you for coming, sir. You have 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, task force members.
And Mr. Piccarello, before you begin, just so you know, we're not here to discuss the substance of your complaint today. What we want to determine is whether the task force does have jurisdiction on it. So with that, please proceed.
Thank you. My name is Thomas Piccarello. I did file a online complaint against the SRO task force. And I received an email 5 minutes ago from Mr. Rustin from Department of Public Health, Elaine Shields, that they are not disputing jurisdiction. I'm entirely in agreement with her opinion. My complaint is threefold. I believe it was last month, there was an actionable item regarding families and SROs. That meeting, strangely enough, was chaired by Assistant District Attorney, Mr. State. Chairperson Cronenberg was not there. And after the matter was discussed by all the SRO task force members, I asked to speak on that matter, and Mr. Say said no, wait till public comment. And as you know, public comment is for public comment on items that aren't on the agenda. So that was allegation number one. Allegation number two is that the SRO task force discusses substantial policy matters through a series of emails amongst themselves. It's, from reading this email I just received 5 minutes ago by Mr. Rustin, and I didn't get a copy from Ms. Shields from DPH. She had sent this task force for appendices, and presumably some of those emails are in those appendices. But I don't have a copy of what Ms. Shields sent you, and nor did I get it from Mr. Rustin. All I have is a face sheet that from Ms. Shields, but I don't have any documents that Ms. Shields sent you. I assume that it's some of the emails that I did receive under a IDR from the task force, but I'm not sure. So what I would like to do is, this, you know, if this task force is in agreement with me and the Department of Public Health that you do have jurisdiction, I would like to have copies of the documents that you receive from the other side. As I speak now, I don't have those documents. Any questions?
If we do, that'll come later. Thank you, Mr. Piccirillo. Is there anybody here to present facts and evidence in support of the complainant? Seeing none, is the respondent present? Is there anybody here to present facts and evidence in support of the respondent? Seeing none, the matter is with the task force. I have a question for Mr. Rustum. The documents that, or the email that Mr. Piccirillo referred to, I don't recall having received anything like that, but then again, sometimes my recollection is a little shady, so please enlighten us.
Mr. Chair, I received that document this morning.
That's why we
And
haven't seen
soon
it.
after that,
Okay.
I forwarded a copy to the complainant as well.
Okay, so it should
There
be...
was another letter that Ms. Shields also sent, saying that she's not contesting jurisdiction. That email was also forwarded to Mr. Piccirillo.
Okay.
I did not print out the emails or whatever
So
attached
these are-
documents because that is the
These are her responses? Okay.
nothing to do with
good.
jurisdiction.
All right. I don't think there's, I don't have any further questions on this. Member Washburn, do you have any questions?
No, I think we have jurisdiction over this, and
Okay, is there a motion?
I so move, yes.
Okay, the chair will second. Is there public comment on the jurisdiction matter? Seeing none, public comment is closed. Roll call, please.
On jurisdiction, Member Washburn.
Yes.
Washburn, aye. Member Nee.
Aye.
Nee, aye. Mr. Chair, we have 2 ayes.
Okay, thank you. So this matter goes then to the full task force 2 weeks from today, August 24th. Okay, could we have the next item, please?
The next item is the administrator's report, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
If the chair would remember the twins that came and presented their case, the twins,
yes,
they have filed a complaint, and their complaint names all the Board of Supervisors, members of the Board of Supervisors, the Mayor's Office, the Arts Commission, and it's all over the place. So do you have any guidance on to which particular person, entity or office? Because this stems from an Arts Commission meeting where
Right.
they wanted to raise the fees.
right. All of those respondents are named in the single complaint?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Have you consulted the deputy city attorney about this?
I have forwarded the letter to Frank Bross. He
Okay.
hasn't responded. Janet Clark, we still have time, but Janet Clark comes back, I think, on the 11th.
Okay. What's the nature of the complaint?
The complaint is saying that this, it's against the Sunshine Ordinance to increase fees to pay for copying public documents.
Right, I recall that.
That was the so-called pretext they used at the Arts Commission, but when it came to the Board of Supervisors, it became a regular, yearly, monthly fare increase.
Right. Okay. In that case, and the mayor signed off on it?
The mayor signed up on
Okay.
this.
In that case, I would say, and this is just off the top of my head, but off the top of my head, I would say that all of those parties are culpable. If, in fact, there is a violation, but all those parties are party to this particular action, and therefore all of them should be summoned for it.
Thank you,
Should be
Mr.
named
Chair.
respondents. That's, if the deputy city attorney has any disagreement, please let us know, and we'll be happy to discuss it with them. But right now, I would say that all of those entities should be named as respondents.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I have no other items to add.
Okay. Is there any public comment on the administrator's report? Seeing none, public comment is closed. Next item, please.
Item 4 is public comment on items not listed on the agenda.
Thank you for coming. You have 3 minutes.
Chairman Nee and Member Washburn, my name is Ray Hartz, as you know, and I wanted to come today to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of my interfaces with the the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force. It was 3 years ago today that I first appeared before this committee when Sue Cawthon was the chair in an attempt to get some documents from the city attorney's office, which I had made numerous attempts to get from the police department and had been unable to do so. Sue Cawthon handled it that way, and it was totally egregious. She basically forced me into an agreement with Matt Dorsey, who was then the public information officer of the city attorney's office, where I supposedly agreed to accept any 2 documents he was willing to give me in exchange for agreeing to withdraw my complaint and make no further request from them. I tried to object to that, and at that point I said, what possible sense or what possible benefit would it be to me to simply let someone not give me the documents I had requested, but 2 random documents of their choosing, and then be forced to withdraw my complaint based on that supposed agreement. I said I would have to be out of my freaking mind, and that's not where I'm at. I was then given the argument that, well, I should go to the police department, and it was inappropriate for me to be approaching the city attorney's office for these documents, even though my argument had included the fact that the deputy city attorney, who worked exclusively with the police department, would, by nature of her job, had access to the documents, which were police procedures, and as a result were also custodians of record. Sue Cawthon then simply refused to allow that to appear before the committee, and we continued from that point. What I really came here to do is thank you all for the last 3 years, because I really do feel that in the last 3 years before and dealing with this committee in its various iterations, I have received what I consider to be a master's degree in public policy. I really do believe people approach the Sunshine Task Force with the idea that you support what is in the Sunshine Ordinance, that you were here to defend their rights, that you were here to help them, and I have learned that you are none of the above. You are simply one more agency, part of the city, here to defend whatever actions the city wants to take, and you set an impossibly high bar for the complainants, asking them to prove such things as whether a document even exists. And they have to fight the deputy city attorney representing the opponent department. They have to fight the deputy city attorney representing this commission. They have to fight the attorney who sits on this task force. And as a result, I even had to fight the city attorney representing the rent board. And if you want to call that fair, then I think you're either high or delusional.
Thank you. Is there further public comment?
Good afternoon again, Thomas Piccirillo. I went on your website and I see that one of your committees or subcommittees, you made a whole bunch of amendments to your task force. In fact, you want to change the name of it to a committee or a commission or whatever. But I don't know what the status of that is. And perhaps the public should be advised of what's going on with the amendments to your sunshine ordinance and changing the name from the task force to a commission. So it would be helpful if someone goes on your website and you can advise the public of what's going on with those amendments. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to take Mr. Piccirillo's comments for. Did you have a comment or question you wanted to?
No.
Okay. Wanted to get to Mr. Piccirillo's comments first. Regarding the Sunshine Ordinance Amendments package, we had hoped to get it on this November's ballot. It's not going to happen. So we are going to continue to discuss the amendments, and we hope to get it on the ballot for November 2011. If you have any specific suggestions for how the ordinance can be improved, by all means, we're happy to listen to them. Mr. Hartz, I'm curious about some things. Could you approach the microphone, please? You said that as chair of this committee, the complaint committee, Ms. Cawthon tried to get you to agree to some kind of acceptance of documents, and then thereafter, hold your peace or to hold your complaints.
She simply, when we had a subsequent hearing, heard from Matt Dorsey. Matt Dorsey said I gave him these 2 documents, and he agreed. First, he sent me an email demanding that I withdraw my complaint. I wrote him back telling him that I'm not going to just take 2 arbitrary documents you give me and then refuse and then agree never to ask for anything. But then when I came back and presented that to Sue Cawthon and the complaint committee, she simply refused to move it on to the task force.
The whole thing strikes me as kind of bizarre because, as I understand it, the complaint committee is supposed to determine jurisdiction.
Uh-huh.
And was that determined made at the time?
No, she argued and got the 3 members to vote, 2 of the members to vote that they had complied with my request and therefore it was not eligible to move on to the task force.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Since that was 3 years ago, I'm not sure there's anything we could do about it now, but if that happens to you in the future, by all means, you should let the rest of the task force know about it. If I had known about this at the time, and I was not chair of the task force at the time, had I known about it, or perhaps had I paid a little bit more attention, I might have protested. So I guess as a member of the task force, I have to be partly responsible for it. It's good that you brought it to our attention now, and we need to be watchful of such things. So thank you very much.
If I make one more comment?
Please.
You are familiar with their handling of my original complaints against the police commission and the police department and the ways in which she dealt with those. And so I don't think it is too much of a stretch to believe that I'm telling the truth in this case.
Sir, I have not challenged your veracity, nor do I intend to do so. Again, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I don't believe there is anybody else in the audience, so I believe public comment on non-agenda items is closed. That takes us to announcements, comments, questions, etc. Anything, Member Washburn?
I just had a thought related to what Mr. Piccirillo stated regarding the proposed amendments. I'm wondering if it would be possible for us to post an update on the website, letting the public know that we're in the process of amending the ordinance, and we anticipate having the amendments go before the voters in the fall of next year. I don't know, just some way of letting people know that we're working on this, and we will be welcoming their input. There will be hearings in the future.
Mr. Rustin?
Through the chair, if any of the members would put together a short, brief note, I can put it on the website.
I'll be happy to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Oh, no, that's all.
Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. Thank you all for attending.